Hey parents, you know that feeling when your toddler's finally tucked in and the whole house can breathe again? Ergo Pouch is made for that moment. They do organic, TOG-rated PJs, toddler pillows, even a nightlight called Blobby. Everything to make bedtime feel less like a battle and more like a calm routine. Silly Stories families get 20% off if they use the code SILLY20. Check the link in this episode description to find out more. Massive thank you to our friends at Ergo Pouch for helping us make more silly stories for kids. All right, let's go. One day, two kids named Amber and Theodore were sitting at home. Now, they were very hungry and they were trying to work out what to eat. And as they were looking through the cupboards trying to find something delicious to eat, something very strange happened. Their door burst open. Hey, are you Amber? Are you Theodore? Yes, said the kids, turning around to see a panda standing in their kitchen. What are you doing here? They said. Well, my name is Panda Pete. I normally like planes, but I've had a brand new idea. Excuse me, Panda Pete, said Amber. I was planning on eating some food right now. Okay, well, I guess you could do that, or we could go on an adventure. An adventure, said Theodore. That sounds like it might be fun. It's always fun, said Panda Pete. Way too much fun. It's incredibly fun. Actually, I think it could be the most fun in the whole entire world, and I think that you may actually have more fun today than you will ever have in the rest of your entire life. What? Said the kids. Just kidding, but it's time to go. Let's go. So Amber and Theodore looked at each other, quite confused. Just then, their mum stepped in. Hey kids, has Panda Pete arrived yet? What? Said the kids. How did you know he was coming? Oh, well, he told me he was going to come and you guys need to go on an adventure with him. Yeah, it's time to go. What are you doing, Panda Pete? Asked their mum. Are you taking them on a plane? Well, I've had enough of planes for today, but just for today. I'll be back to planes very soon, but I thought I might try something different. Different, said Theodore. What kind of different? I think today I might try a train. Oh, they said. That sounds like a great idea. But we need food first. Okay, we will find a train that has some food. Let's go, said Panda Pete as he grabbed them both by the hand and ran out the door. Bye, Mom, called out the kids. As they started running down the street, Panda Pete was holding them both by the hand. The trouble was, he was running so fast, their feet weren't even touching the ground. Panda Pete, slow down, yelled out Theodore. What's that? Go faster, said Panda Pete, and he started to run even faster. Whoa, said the kids as Panda Pete ran and ran and ran. Where are we even going, said Amber. Well, said Panda Pete, we need to find a train, so I wonder where we could find a train. Ooh, that place maybe looks like it has a train. No, that's a restaurant, said Amber. Let's try anyway, said Panda Pete as he raced in through the door. When they got inside, there was all kinds of delicious-looking food everywhere. Oh, my tummy's so hungry, said Theodore. Maybe we can eat some of this, said Amber. Look, said Panda Pete, it's a train. No, that's not a real train, said Amber. They looked across and there was a sushi train. It was going around all the tables and delivering little plates of food to each and every person that was hungry. Well, I think that it looks enough like a train that we can use it as a train. Let's go, said Panda Pete. Panda Pete raced into the restaurant and jumped onto the front of the sushi train. What is that panda doing? Said one of the men working at the shop. I don't know, said Amber, but we're going too. So Amber and Theodore both jumped on the sushi train as well. Theodore started to eat one of the plates. Yum, this is delicious. Hooray, said Panda Pete. Now, how do we get this thing off the tracks? Well, it doesn't go off the tracks, said Amber. It just goes around and around and around. Well, maybe if we do this, said Panda Pete. And he pulled on the front of the train and it lifted off and it started driving off the tracks and out of the shop. Hey, come back here with that, said one of the men working at the shop. We're off on an adventure, said Panda Pete. Hooray, he said as he started driving the sushi train out of the restaurant and down the street. The kids were laughing as the train bumped along and all the little plates rattled as Panda Pete drove and drove and drove. As he drove around the corner, he saw, oh, that looks amazing. All right, let's go in there. What? Said the kids. Why would we go in there? Can't you read the sign? It says Big Muscles Gym. Come inside and train. Yeah, but not like a train. It's like training, a kind of training, said Theodore, very confused. Ah, yes, but it says train and we have a train, so we must go inside. So Panda Pete started driving the sushi train into the gym where people were training. And as they drove inside, all the people were very, very confused because there in the doorway was a panda and two kids sitting on top of a little train that was driving around with little sushi plates. Hey, everybody, where's the train? What? Said one of the ladies on the treadmill. There's no train here.
Yeah, but I've been training for 6 weeks. Look at my giant muscles,
said one of the guys. Well, I think I'm stronger than you, and I think my train is faster than your train.
I don't have a train, he said.
Told you, said Panda Pete. What? Said the kids. This is confusing. What are you doing? Well, they look hungry. Look at all these skinny people. They need some food. Okay, Panda train on the train with the sushi train, bringing around food to all the training trainers. What? Said the kids. Let's go! Panda Pete started driving the train around all of the people inside the gym on all the different equipment. He gave them all bits of food so that they'd feel a little less hungry. See, now everyone's happy. Look at the smiles. But where's your train? He said to the man at the front door. We don't have a train, said the man. Oh, that looks like a train, said Panda Pete. As he looked across, he was looking at the treadmills. No, said the man. That's not a train. That's a treadmill. It just goes around and around and around. Yes, but that's what it does for now. This little sushi train only went around and around and around. Maybe if I add the treadmill to my sushi train, I can make a super speedy sushi train. What? Said the man. Panda Pete drove his train over to the treadmill and then he started to tinker with the parts and pull it apart into different pieces. What are you doing? Said the man. And then he combined it all onto the front of his sushi train. Are you ready, kids? I don't know, said Amber. Me either, said Theodore. Let's go! And as Panda Pete started to drive, the sushi train was now a speedy sushi train and he drove it back out onto the street. Bye, people! Enjoy your food! Oh, look, our train is empty of food. I think we better go collect more food, said Panda Pete. Okay, said the kids. Where are we going to find more food? I think maybe the supermarket, said Panda Pete. Luckily for him, there was a supermarket just up the road. Hooray, he said. All right, let's go. And the super speedy sushi train drove straight through the doors of the supermarket. When they got inside, Panda Pete looked around. Look at all the food. We need to make some new platters to put on the sushi train so that we can go give more people amazing food. But how are we going to do that? Said Theodore. Yeah, said Amber. What are we going to do? Well, while I was working on that treadmill, I actually made these, he said. And he handed the kids 2 funny-looking baskets. What are these for? Said Theodore. Well, if you put things in the baskets, then it chops it up into tiny little pieces and then shoots it out across the space onto the plates that are on the train. All right, so ready? Let's go! Start collecting, said Panda Pete. So as Panda Pete drove down the aisles of the supermarket, the kids started collecting random ingredients and throwing them into their baskets. They added cereal and bread and even some dishcloths, and they were very confused about how this was about to turn out. But sure enough, the basket started chopping it into tiny little pieces and stacking it on top of each other and then shooting it out onto the plates on the sushi train. Wow, that looks amazing! More, said Panda Pete. So they drove along. They added fruit, they added vegetables, they added milk and cheese, and everything that they could see. Then they hit the dog food aisle. Don't put any dog food in, said Amber. Yeah, said Theodore. That would not be a good idea. Add all the dog food. We'll give it to the dogs that are down the street. Go! Okay, said the kids. How will we remember which ones are dog food? I'm sure we will, said Panda Pete, not entirely convinced himself. But the kids started collecting cat food and dog food and all kinds of things and popping it into the baskets, and it got chopped into tiny little pieces and shot out onto the plates of the train until all the plates were completely full. All right, it's time to go feed everybody.
How are you going to pay for that? Said the man at the front door.
Oh, yes, hang on. Panda Pete pulled out a giant bag of money and threw it towards the man. Will that cover it?
Whoa, that's like way more than what it's worth.
Yeah, but that's okay. We've made lots of chaos. You enjoy. Oh, can you go back to the sushi shop down the street and pay for all the food that we took there?
Okay,
said the man. So the kids and Panda Pete took off on the super speedy sushi train that was now completely full of food once again and started driving down the street. Well, who are we going to give all this food to? Remember, we need to feed the dogs, said Panda Pete. And so they drove along past all the houses, and any house that had a dog, they would flick them one of the little pieces of doggy sushi that they had made for their sushi train. If there were people there, they'd give them some of the people sushi. It was so much fun. The kids had the best time, and Panda Pete enjoyed driving the train around and around all the houses of the neighborhood. The people were all so happy. All right, said Panda Pete, we better take this train back and reconnect it. So they sped the sushi train all the way back to the restaurant, and Panda Pete drove it up over some chairs and back onto the tracks. But the trouble was, he hadn't disconnected the treadmill motor, so now the sushi train went around and around and around at super duper speed. What's going on? Said the man. Why is it so fast? Well, it's so that you can sell food faster. Hooray! Thank you. You're welcome. Okay, let's go, said Panda Pete as he ran off out the door. He ran all the way back home with the kids. They were laughing and laughing and laughing. As they walked in through the front door, their mum was there waiting. Hey kids, what did you end up having for lunch? Well, said Amber, I don't think you'd believe us, even if we told you. And that is the end of the story.
This episode is brought to you by Panda Pete Super Speed Sushi Trains. Do you have a sushi train in your restaurant that's taking too long to serve all the people? Get a Panda Pete Super Speed Super Sushi Train, and it will help you be so much more profitable. Haha! We hope you've been enjoying the silly stories for kids. Make sure to leave a review wherever you find your podcast. Go listen to our music and tell every single one of your friends. This has been me, Panda Pete.
And me, Sam. We'll see you soon.